Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. Time for the first Q&A of 2021. 6 people have submitted questions for me, which is fantastic. I've always getting about 4 people, end up getting 6, which is decent. You know how the channel's gone quite far actually the past couple of years, so there we go. So, without further ado, let's go through these questions that people have sent me. So, first up we've got is DVD and Film Bloke. You should start him first. So he sent me 2 questions. Cheers, mate. Thank you very much. Question number 1. Which Doctor Who episode would you like to see recovered the most? It can be entire serial or just individual episodes. I'll answer those two things, really. Because I have both answers with that sort of thing. For the entire serial and the individual episodes. I think for the complete serial, full serial, I'll probably say I got 2. The Massacre from Series 3. Because Harlow plays 2 characters that one, actually. A bit like Enemy of the World, but a bit different on that one. And The Highlanders, Jamie's introductory story, so there we go. So them 2, I'll probably say I would really like to see recovered. People will probably say some of the space pirates or the smugglers or something, but I think them 2 might be interesting to get, you know, recover because it's quite just interesting stories. One's a good one, one's like I guess what you call like sort of a notable episode for the Troughton era, really. So there we go. So the Massacre and the Highlanders for the entire serials. And for the individual ones, I had a good think about this one. So I'd probably say the Crusade, the 2 remaining episodes from the Crusade, and again the 2 remaining ones for the Underwater Menace. Of course, you know, them 2 might be interesting. Might be interesting to see, you know, something like that, really. You know, get those ones, make a complete serial, that'd be fine, really. Unless they have to animate them. You know, keep the 2 remaining ones and just do animate episodes, you know, whatever. So yeah, I'll probably say them 2. So, yeah, so Massacre and Highlanders for the complete serials and the Crusade and the Underwater Menace for individual episodes. So there we go, Sam's answered more can chew, really, on that one. And question number 2, do you have a favourite genre of film and TV? Horror. Horror is my type of genre for that one. It's experimental. You can do all sorts of things with it. You can make a concept of it. It can be so interesting. You can make something of the mundane and make it scary. You can do something. It's a wide imagination with horror. You can probably do some weird, trippy stuff. You can do a bog standard stalker film. You can probably do just something just totally mad. Or even boring. You know, it's one of those things, and it works. Somehow it does, but who knows? It's just interesting, really. So I'll probably say horror, both in film and TV, because films really they have sort of the benchmark there. TV sometimes actually does something pretty good as well. You know, it depends on how you look at it. Depends if it's big budget or low budget, just depends, really. Because you think TV, you've got like urban gothic, you've got Tales of the Crypt, Tales from the Dark Side, you've got stuff like Stephen Moffat's Dracula, you've got I don't know, I think those are the sort of obvious ones to pick, really, or X-Files or something like that. I don't know if that's more sci-fi, that is. I don't know. We'll see. So I'll probably say horror for both TV and film for that genre. So thank you for submitting your questions, DVD and Film Bloke. Cheers, mate. Thank you very much. Next person we got is one of my collaborators, of course, Oscar Barnett. He sent me 4 questions. Cheers, mate. Thank you very much. Question number 1, what's it like for you to be the maker of the upcoming Bill and Ben fandoms for YouTube? Obviously, that's changed. Obviously, I'm not doing the making of the fandoms anymore. Some other guy called Morgan Leach is doing it. I had to drop out, really. I messaged Oscar about a week or 2 weeks ago about it, and I was sort of meant to do it, but a lot of personal stuff come up, and had to just bow out, really, because there was a lot of personal stuff come at once. It did, so it's like I can't dwell on the time for doing YouTube and everything else. Well, making the fandoms, because that's more time. It's like when I do those compilations, it's more time consuming to this. So obviously, what he's hoping to do is make people record voices, edit it on, add music, add your own type of music on, and everything else. It's like, you know, that's gonna be a long process, that is. So I had to really bow out at that point, really. But But he understands, and he's got someone else doing it for him, so good for him. So at least his dream is still carrying on with that thing. So yeah, good for you. Question number 2. Do you remember the CITV Old School Weekend on the 5th and 6th of January 2013? I do, actually. I never saw it broadcast live or anything like that. The only sort of bit of it I remember seeing was the Roasting Jim episode Locks, or the first episode of it on ITV Player, or ITV, what do you call it now? Because I heard news that they were sort of broadcasting old stuff like Count Duckly on, and again the first episode of Rosie Jim. So I thought, oh my god, really? You know, after many years, it's been broadcast on TV. You know, it's like it's returned to ITV just from one time only. It's like I can't bear to see this, and I really enjoyed it. So that's the only time I've ever actually watched anything from that Old School Weekend. So yeah, just that Rosie and Jim episode I remember seeing. But it was good. Nice little look back of what I was used to watch back in the day. So that was fantastic. Yeah, thanks for bringing that up, Oscar. Question number 3. Do you like the fact that Fireman Sam Brum and Bob the Builder are now on BBC iPlayer? Yes and no. It's nice actually they've put them on, because it's, you know, at least some kids get some decent television these days. So that's pretty good. You know, look back at what people back in the 80s and 90s used to watch. So that's fantastic, you know. You know, I'm surprised it's taken this long for the BBC to do this. You know, I'm surprised they haven't repeated it over many years. Of course, like do BBC 2 repeats, or do a little block or whatever, or do whatever, like CVs or something like that. You know, like do repeats a lot, and never do. So I'm quite happy they found like a little bit of a home on iPlayer now. So that's fantastic. The downside is though, they're not sure. Most of the episodes are incomplete. You know, there's still, you don't get a full season, like the whole thing, of course. You get episodes like, I think like 10 episodes from one series or whatever, and, you know, bits and pieces. And I think from Fireman Sam in particular, there's a lot of editing going on as well. I think Baz Banter93 mentioned this when he did the Bumper Films Facebook page, which is now defunct, it's gone now. That he mentioned, like, it's on, you know, Fireman Sam's on BBC iPlayer, hooray. But the problem is they've edited a lot of stuff to do with Bella Lasagna or whatever, I think. And, you know, because I don't think that's like a stereotyping thing going on. It's like if you look at Fallout Towers, you know, like they did edits to the Germans episode. You know, it's like that really. And it's like, why? What's the, you know, can you just leave stuff alone? Obviously, we live in a different Tully world this time, of course, you know, with the whole change of culture and whatever. And everything else, you know, it's like everyone's too sensitive these days. You know, it's like, you know, and this is sort of like take a step too far, really. But what can you do is the BBC. You know, they can change things now to click of the fingers, really. This thing. So I probably, you know, that's the downside with the BBC iPlayer stuff. You know, it's nice actually kids who actually might be watching this. You know, even like streaming from a tablet or whatever. That's, you know, actually the parents introducing anything. You know, I've done this for years. You'll love this. It's like that, really. It's nice to actually add some classic stuff as well. So like the early stuff. Fantastic. It's just that sometimes, you know, it's not all complete, and some edits have been taken as well, so it's like it's very incomplete really. So that's the problem. That's the downside with that one. But it's a nice move for the BBC to do this actually. When we're going to get stuff like Always Farm on 4OD, we don't know, or anything else. Who knows? You know, we're still waiting for a lot of people to do you know, release a whole baggage of stuff. You know, give it time. I don't know. Well, we'll have to see. We don't know. You know, so there we go. Yeah, that's a good question. And your final question is, did you know I was an extra in these 2 films? Those in Peril from 2013 and Red River Massacre Annihilation from 2020. No, I didn't actually. I didn't know you were an extra in those films, mate. My God. That will give you a boost to your career, that will. You know, if you're starring a few movies as extras and you sort of build up, you can probably end up doing like independent short films or something, or a bunch of horror like you've mentioned, stuff like Redwood Massacre, Annihilation. You know, you can build up a career, of course. Obviously, you want to be a stand-up comedian, of course, but stuff like that, it'll give you a bit of an equity as well. So that might be one way to go, and obviously that'll help you build up, of course, you know, to get further fame. So there we go. So that's from your questions, Oscar. Cheers, mate. Thank you for submitting them. Next up we've got is a guy from someone called Flynny Finn. What do you, if I haven't pronounced that right, yeah. He's sent me 2 questions. Question number 1, what is your favourite VHS? Obviously, it's Sean's Play School Favourites. Absolutely. No, it ain't. Oh God, I'm thinking for the best one, the best ever one. Oh God, I'll probably say Colonel Toddlers from 1999. That's probably the best one, really. You know, the compilation, but it's a good mixture of good stuff, so I'll probably say that one. And question number 2, what do you think was your first VHS? My very first one, I think the one I first saw was My Little Thomas and Friends video from 96. That might be the first VHS I ever saw, actually. In terms of like getting one or obtaining one, I'm not entirely sure, because I get dumped with loads. I mentioned when I did Kiss the Confessions, most of this VHS was done with my parents and other people as well, so I haven't got quite memory of that really. But the thing that first time actually watching it, watching a VHS entirely, it would have been that My Little Thomas and Friends video with the 5 episodes, of course, from series 1, so like from Thomas's Train to Clubs and Trucks. That was the first one I ever saw. So there we go. So there's your question answered. Thank you very much. Next up we've got is Jack Williams, of course, the reliable Jack Williams. Hello, Jackie boy. How you doing? Good to see you again. So you sent me 5 questions. Lovely, mate. Thank you very much. So your first question is, what do you think of my collection videos where I reviewed VHS tapes and DVDs? I've seen quite a few of them actually, mate, and pretty good actually. Yeah, you're so building up a decent collection you are. So you're showing off what you've got, what resources you've got, and it's great. I really do enjoy it. It's pretty decent, that is. So I've seen quite a couple of them, mate, so yeah, very pleased. Thank you for that one. Question number 2, what is your favourite hit entertainment ident? I've always liked the hit video one. I think that's on the Bob the Bill VHSs. And I think, same again on when they released on DVD in the 2000s. I do like that because it's a similar thing in the music as well. It's like a barrage of confetti and everything else. I do like that one. I'm not keen on that, what do you call that, CGI blocks thing. I think it's naff as hell. Not really keen on that one. So there we go. I think the original hit one, the one that was used in the 2000s as well, is better, I would say. It's all it's a bit more fun, it's a bit more interesting really, a bit more kaleidoscopic and a bit more interesting with the music, of course. I'll probably say that. Number 3, have you ever seen CGI shows like Numberjacks, Octonauts and PJ Masks? I have no idea what Numberjacks is, I haven't got a clue about that. Octonauts, I've seen merchandise of Octonauts, so like lunchboxes, and there's a kid ride as well in my local shopping centre. Just outside, like it's in between. It's in a lobby in between a multi-storey car park and most of the shops where they are actually in my town. I've seen that. I never understood Octonauts. I don't know. PJ Masks. I've only heard about PJ Masks from Dalek 44, who did a review of it, and because he tends to review a lot of old-fashioned stuff, like most of us tend to do, and he's talked about a couple of new stuff as well, like Loud House or whatever. I never heard of Loud House, so I'm not really up to date on that thing. PJ Masks, he just did a video of it, and I thought, okay, I sort of got just what it really is, but it's not for me really. It's too, it's not my thing really. Most of these things are not really my thing. I'm a bit of an old-fashioned git, I am, so very geriatric and whatever. So I look at the past very much, and I always do, in terms of music, television, and TV shows really. That sort of thing. Sometimes with modern TV shows I'm alright with. It's just like music and old children's TV shows are probably better, I would say. Question number 4. What are your favourite episodes from Lavender Castle? Funny enough, mate, I have to push your bubble. I haven't really seen Lavender Castle yet. I know it's been recommended to me about a couple of times. When I do these Q&As, it's been recommended to me. Of course, you recommend to me as well. I haven't seen Lavender Castle yet, unfortunately. I still need to get around to watching it. It just depends. I'm distracted by other stuff, really. Either by... Although to be fair, I've been watching a Jerry Anderson show called Dick's Bad PI, and I'm really enjoying that actually. So I'll probably get round to watching After Castle at some point. I know it's maybe very good animation, based CGI, and some of the voice work as well. Because I know that David Holt is in it as well. I think I watched a Jerry Anderson primer about it actually, and you sort of think there's some similarities with the voices that he does actually, as in Okie Doke. It's like strange, but there we go. But I'll try and get around to watching it, of course, but I'll have to wait and see. And your final question is, are you going to watch the newest Pixar film, Luca, when it comes out this year? Probably not, because I don't really watch Disney films anymore. I stated in the worst films ever, in my opinion. Frozen sort of killed it for me. and I sort of just gave up on them entirely. I don't know why. It's just like, you know, it's not like anticipation really, but I just stopped watching Disney films for a very long time. You know, for a long time really. I just never really bothered. The only Pixar films I ever saw was Toy Story 4, because Toy Story, we've seen the films, so you watched the fourth one. I've seen that one and really enjoyed it. And I think Zootropolis might be the other one, the standard Disney film really, but probably not. I just don't know. To be fair, I'm getting old, so there might be other films I can probably, I'll probably see this year, but Luca, probably not. It's just, it doesn't appeal, Pixar films don't really appeal to me. It's like, you go on Disney Plus, Souls in there, that's meant to be good. I just don't know. I don't feel like I need to see it, see these films really, unfortunately. Just, I don't know. I sort of just gave up on them, really. There we go. Thank you, Jackie Boy, for your questions. Very, very kind of you, mate. That's brill. So next up we've got is Television, Video and DVD Hallway. Your first question is, what are your thoughts on the British comedy series The In-Betweeners? In-Betweeners, I think is a really good show. The three series done by E4 are really good, great cast as well. They always are fantastic stories they get up to, and it's just brilliant it is. I think it's a really good series, it's timely, it still gets played a lot, it still gets referenced a lot, it's really fantastic. I'm not so keen on the films. I really can't get through the films. I really can't. It's just like, I'd say for number two, like doing around Christmas Day or something like that. It was terrible. It was a really horrendous film. I really just didn't like In-Betweeners too. I just loathed it really. I wouldn't say it's the worst film, but I would probably say, it's like I really just loathe this film. I just really can't. It's like I can't stomach through it. So like, fucking, I'll just give up on that. And the same with the first one, really, I don't know. But the TV series I really enjoy. I think when you do translate to film and stuff, it doesn't really work, really, in some cases. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. But there we go. That's my opinions on the In-Betweeners. TV series is fabulous. The film's not so much. Question number 2. Chucklevision or Laurel and Hardy? So, to be fair, I'll probably say the Chuckle Brothers. I had a really good think about this as well. Chuckle Brothers, because I haven't really gone into really much of Laurel and Hardy, really. I haven't really seen the films. I know about the legacy because Town Hall's from Ulverston, of course, and his legacy still lives on forever, in that sort of market town as well. And I just don't know. I just really haven't, really seen much of Laurel and Hardy. So I don't know, but there we go. Yeah, so I'll probably see Chuckle Brothers. I think Chuckle Brothers is more interesting because I've seen it many times over the years, and there's a good chemistry between with the brothers. It's a family thing, so it's family. The two brothers, you got two half brothers as well, the Patton brothers as well. So it's like it works. It does. You get something really interesting out of it, even if it sort of dips down. It's still enjoyable. So I'll probably say Chuckle Brothers for that question. Number 3, do you have a favourite BBC ident? I'll probably say I'm trying to think of some good ones. I really like the Globe ident that was used. I always prefer the VHS ident of the Globe ident from 88 to 91. That's better because of the music and everything else. Graphics-wise is alright, really, but I think the music really gets, really works. It does. And again, it's like a rolling D50 thing they use with the music, really, of different samples and stuff. That's really good. I really enjoy that one. Standard BBC logo as well, as from 91 to 97. That's really good. That is. I mean, that's sort of impact. It's just like it goes like that. Of course, it's like it's BBC. Here we go. I like the design as well. Very slanted as well. I really do enjoy that. It's like if you look at the BBC books the Doctor Who BBC books from 97. The first range of stuff. I always like those novels. Really, the covers, always the black sheet covers. Is like, nah. It's can be left to be designed in that sort of regard, but I do like it when you have a little corner, of course, like it's the center logo. There's something weird and nostalgic about that. It's something like, yes, it somehow fits perfectly. It does. It's like with Virgin stuff, of course, you get the Virgin logo on the spine very much. It's like, yes, finally again. It's like getting a very good strong identity, of course. Like again with the BBC books I mentioned, I think for the first 5. There's 10 of them actually adorn it really. Then afterwards they've just had the standard BBC logo for years really. So there we go. I don't mind that BBC logo as well. I mean, it's alright. It's like I've said many times, so it's fine. But I probably say the Globe and the 91, 97 one are probably the better ones. Diamond one, that's okay, really. I'm not really keen on that because I've never seen that much. I've only had 2 VHSs, really. So there we go. Question number 4. What are your thoughts on the children's favourites DVDs that were released by Hit Entertainment? I never owned any of them, really. I think at that point I never did. I was sort of moving on at that point. I just don't know, really, because I can't really decide, really get a reason for that one. If you like them, that's absolutely fine, but I've never actually owned any of them. I mean, any of them, really. In terms of, like, VHS, like those, I think they were listed as like double VHSs and the originally then DVDs. I just don't know. I never seen those, unfortunately, mate, so I can't really say about that. And question number 5. What's your opinion on the 2006 UK DVD title Milkshake Treats? Again, I never heard of that. I probably won't go near that, really, because it's Milkshake. Milkshake are quite notorious, and yes, they've actually premiered and released some terrible shows that are obviously on Channel 5. I mean, I don't really care for that, really, but there we go. So yeah, I can't really, those sort of DVD questions I've never seen. 2006, at that point I was into sci-fi, really, and I was growing up, so I don't know. And finally, we finish off with Ben Freeman. Thank you for your questions anyway. Television, video and DVD hallway. Thank you very much. And try to read, it's all cluttered at the top, you can't really see from there. So we go to Ben Freeman, of course, who sent the last questions, of course. He's only giving me 3, that's absolutely fine. Thank you, Ben. Question number 1. Do you like the Beatles? If so, what are your favourite songs from them? I'm a Beatles fan, of course. I own the all 12 albums and vinyls. That's one hell of a achievement, of course. It took a while. But in terms of favourite songs, if there was something from Rubber Soul, that George Harrison song, I love. It's fantastic. It's one of my absolute favourites. Stuff from the White Album. I love Birthday. That's a good song. Really good song it is. Very rocking, Robson type feel to it. Everyone's Got to Hide except for Me and the Monkey. Rocking as well. Helter Skelter. Savoy Truffle as well, actually. I really love that one as well. That's a brilliant one. What else? Abbey Road. I'm trying to think of some stuff from Abbey Road. I Want You, She's So Heavy. I love that's a really good. That's a fantastic song. Quite long, about 7 minutes long, but it's fantastic. Keeps up its momentum, sort of ends on a high. It does really good. I Saw Her Standing There. That's a good song. I love that one. I'm trying to think of any other ones. So Taxman. That's an obvious one, but it's really good. I've Got a Feeling from Let It Be. I think the Let It Be Naked version's better. Hey Bulldog from the Yellow Submarine soundtrack. That's good. Paper Rock Writer. That's, again, Day Tripper as well. I'm just trying to think of some other ones. Dear Prudence as well. Some people do like a different version of Dear Prudence now. They like Susan the Banshees. That's pretty good. Their version. I think those ones I've mentioned before and are better ones, really. They're the better. So the ones I fondly remember, of course, are the Beatles. Number 2. Have you heard of a children's program called JJ the Jet Plane? If you have, did you know there was going to be a reboot coming out called The New World of JJ the Jet Plane? I've only ever seen JJ the Jet Plane. I'm familiar with the show, yes, but I've never watched it before, like fully watched it. I've only ever seen, like, on DVDs, like you go into like your local supermarket, or whatever, like in Morrison's or Asda, and you see this horrendous plane with a horrible CGI face on it, and looks ghastly as hell, or ghastly as fuck, really. And it's like, as a kid, like, what the hell's that? And I never actually seen it, so I never seen the show entirely, so I don't really know. I think, was it CITV was on or something? It's like, it's like, I'd rather not go near that. It's like, yeah, it's like some wibs are more famous. It's like Thomas Sanchez and Friends, really, but way weirder and a bit more creepier. Like, if that was meant to look like, here's the thing: if Thomas Sanchez and Friends look like that, Jesus Christ, You know, if they transfer the CGI to be like that, that is freaking horrendous, really. So, indeed, I've only seen the DVD covers of it, of course, when it was in supermarkets or whatever it was around. I've never seen the show, so there we go. The reboot that I actually found that by a YouTuber called Driver Joe. If you're familiar with Driver Joe, if you've ever seen his stuff, he reacts to a lot of YouTube poops stuff, really, memes, compilations, try not to laugh stuff. Of course, it's one of those type ones. But he specialises in like Thomas Sanchez and Friends YTPs, YouTube poops, really, which are the ones he sort of reacts to are sort of freaking really interesting, and some interesting fan stuff as well that the fans have been doing. Worth checking him out. You know, try and type out Driver Joe. He's a pretty interesting fella, I would say. So, and he mentioned this, of course. He mentioned JJ Jet Plane. Now, obviously, it looks more like stuff you get in a Pixar film, really. I've noticed this actually, but you know, you cut out that weird facial look or how JJ used to look, and it's like, it's not too bad. It just feels very formulaic, really, I would say. And that's all I could say about this reboot. I just don't really care about the reboot, really, because I've never seen the show, unlike Thomas Sanchez and Friends. When you look at it now, it's like, what a whole piece of shit that is. You know, it's like, that's Mattel not being directionless, really. You know, plain dumbed down, giving it what the kids want, really. You know, it's like, well, not really. You know, it's like, it's angry on the whole fan base or whatever. You know, it's like slapping the face, really. All you respect is little kids who have no brain cells. Well, that's the thing. I mean, kids, they're quite complicated, they are. So there we go. So we don't really know. And your final question is, what do you think so far of my vinyl record videos? I think they're pretty good, actually, mate, because, you know, you've been collecting vinyl. I'm a vinyl collector myself, actually. Down below here, I've really got loads. I've got like hundreds of vinyl records I do, so I'm a massive vinyl. Well, I just buy it for fun, really, just out of interest, really. So, like, stuff largely from the 50s to the 90s is more my forte. Buy a lot of reissues. I do a lot of secondhand stuff because of in my hometown there's a record store that sold open a couple of years ago. Go to HMV, see what reissues are. I probably won't go to HMV now, really, because I found out they've gone up in price, like 2 for £40. Are you fucking kidding me? That's an absolute joke. That's because obviously vinyls recently, I think since last year as well, it's gone up in price. And when I went to HMV after only, for many months, of course, being locked down and everything else, and actually going there for the first time, I thought, I can get some reissues and see what they got. And the prices on them, and I thought, Jesus Christ, they're literally bankrupting more people. And obviously, I think for the thing that sort of annoys me the most, it's like surprising. It's like, you see teenage girls looking at the vinyl as well. It's like, now, I'm not a sexist bastard or anything else, or being woke or anything like that. I'm sort of, I stick to you stick to the contemporary times as well. But I sort of looked at that. I sort of thought to my head, what the hell? It's like making it extremely mainstream and popular. Of course, it's mainstream and popular. It's selling supermarkets, of course, but you get this generation of people who probably just listen, who rather buy designer clothes and go on the iPhones or whatever. Like that sort of thing. Actually buying proper vinyl, of course. Like you can buy the new Ed Sheeran album on there, or Justin Bieber, or Katy Perry. Who else? Dana LeRae, whatever you call that. How do you pronounce her? Lewis Capaldi. There's loads. Rag and Bone, and all that sort of stuff. It's like, and it feels like, again, it's like watching a TV show, of course, then it's been modernised and also been rebooted. And it's like, all these people, all these girls, all these people who maybe might dismiss it and think it's absolute crap, or it's not their thing, actually come to think, it's my thing as well. It feels like that, really. It feels like, kind of like Doctor Who with David Tennant, of course. You get that weird little thing. Of course. It's like, everyone really enjoyed it. There's a big, massive female fan base, and they sort of left afterwards, really, because that sort of generation or cliche people were sort of like, he's handsome, he's fit, and everything else. It's like, and everything else, and it's a similar thing with Vine, of course. Obviously, people, embrace it. You think, oh, this would be nice. That front cover of Ed Sheeran looks fabulous. You could probably think, oh, they need to sleep. You could probably see him topless or whatever. It's like, really. Again, it's following trend, really, of course. Like, it's like, it feels like you're sort of losing contact with reality, really. I do think, really. It sort of comes to that point. So there we go. I could probably say about that, really. So with vinyl being popular, of course, chances are you get high prices, and you get like a whole generation of people who probably never seen it, of course, who do something totally different, of course, who live in a different cliche, whatever, and just come and embrace this new culture, of course. It's like, I just don't know. I felt strange about it. Felt a bit annoyed about it, but that's my opinion, really, on that thing. I don't think people probably think, yeah, why not? I think for me, this felt a bit strange, really. It was really just like a weird, I felt strange after that, like me and HMV. It's like, geez, what's the world coming to? There we go. So there we go, guys. That is the Q&A. That's the last person, of course. Freeman was the last person, really. So thank you guys for watching. Thank you for so many questions. Of course, I will do another one at some point throughout the year. Just not like weekly or anything. I can't do that, really. But in a couple of months' time or whatever. So we'll get around to doing that. And I hope you enjoyed. And thank you for so many questions. You wonderful people. Thank you very much. So there we go, guys. And I'll see you later. See you guys.